Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I've made any videos, but anybody that follows me knows that I keep extremely busy, and that GTO I finally finished and got rid of it, and now I'm starting another project, a 1990 ZR1 Corvette. Believe it or not, the ZR1 Corvette was probably one of the fastest production cars in 1990. I believe it was might be the third fastest 0 to 60 time out of any production car in the world. So we're talking 1990. 375 horsepower was a heck of a lot of horsepower in 1990 compared to what else was out on the, out in the streets. It had this that company Lotus designed this engine especially for this. I believe it's especially for the ZR1. I think actually GM bought Lotus after this or during this whole uh, um, design period. So 32 valve, 4 cams, pain in the neck to work on, but it's a heck of an engine. It's a really well designed engine. I mean, operationally, not really serviceable, but I mean, what car is? So we had so what do we got here? A 6-speed transmission, which was standard on these cars. And if you notice, if you look at the C4 Corvette closely, you'll see right here on top of the quarter, a ZR1 is actually wider, the quarter panels, than a regular C4 Corvette. And that was to be able to stuff these giant tires in back here. These tires are huge. I forgot what size they are offhand. Let's see. Looking right at 315 35/17s. Stock tire for the rear of this car. I'm not a guru on these ZR1s, but anybody that knows me knows I work for a shop that specializes in Corvettes, so I've worked on my fair share of these, and I've driven a lot of them, and they handle extremely well. People knock the C4 generation, but those C4s, they were some of the best handling Corvettes or cars out on the road at that time, and they still handle really well. Um, the craftsmanship could have been a little better. These cars, they have a tough time, standing the test of time, especially once it comes to interior and weather stripping and stuff like that. But I've seen some some 90s that were mint perfect cars, but you got to take care of them. If you don't take care of them, they'll shit all over you. Also, another cool feature of the ZR1 is this key that's down under the stereo. It says normal and full. You put it into full power, and it actually has 2 injectors per cylinder, and it turns on the second injector. I believe that they called this a valet key, because they didn't want, you go to valet your car, you don't want some crazy kid jumping in the car, put it in full power, and it's got 375 horsepower at its disposal. So you would leave it in normal, and then you would put it in full when you wanted to have fun. So anyway, this is just the beginning. I have a lot of work to do on this car, and as usual, I am, racing against the clock. I got to do an alternator. I got to do spark plugs. I got to do wires, and if you see where those wires go, they go directly underneath the intake, so the intake needs to come off. Then I got to do some maintenance stuff. I got to do fuel filter, air filter, oil change, and that's the outside stuff. Oh no, actually one more thing. I have to do a clutch, master cylinder, and slave cylinder because that's leaking. So, it's a little bit of work. But then, after all that's done, if you saw my last video with this car, you'll know that the heater core is bad. So I have to do the heater core. Anytime anybody hears that word, heater core, with a C4 Corvette, all you hear is, oh no, because it's a big job. And it's not super complicated, but the biggest problem with these cars is that they're older. The parts are getting brittle. As you can see, this one's in really good shape. So I have to be super, super careful because these plastic parts, they like to break. Everything just kind of falls apart on some of them. Also, to make it even more fun, underneath that carpet is a giant river of antifreeze. So I had to pull all the carpeting out. I may have to pull that seat out of there and, you know, dry it all out. Hopefully it'll dry out. So anyway, oh yeah, and then I'm going to do weather stripping too, which is expensive, but has to get done because the weather stripping at first glance doesn't look bad, but it shrinks over time. And these cars are notorious for weather stripping issues and water leaks and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Wind noise is is another thing, but that's almost kind of synonymous with the name Corvette, wind noise. So anyway, I think I got everything covered. Oh, and the infamous climate control problems. These cars like to have issues with the climate control panels. It's basically a computer, and it tells all the little vents and blend doors and everything what to do. This one here doesn't want to listen to what I'm telling it to do. I hit the off button and it doesn't go off. Sometimes the other buttons work, sometimes they don't. That's pretty much, it's a fairly common thing for Corvettes of this generation. So hopefully I can mess around with this one and see if I can get it to work. I've done the resetting and all that stuff. I know everybody's going to say, oh, just pull the battery off for 30 seconds and see what it... Yeah, I did that. Been there, done that. I was hoping for a miracle, and it didn't work. So I have to deal with that thing, and the stereo doesn't work right. So it probably means that I have some sound coming out of it, but it's very low, and it probably means that the amp is screwed up. So it might be replacing stereo stuff on here, too. So what originally came in for a pretty quick and easy job is turning into a, you know, month or more that this car is going to be here. So, but whatever it is, and I'll get it done. So tomorrow actually tonight I ordered all the parts for it. So tomorrow I'm going to start wrenching. I'll probably just start taking everything apart and then wait for the parts to come in and start putting it back together. And I'll try to, you know, keep up with the progress and, you know, take it from there. I guess that's it.